best way to do routes and bus stops is to know who's going to be riding the bus prior to the first week of school.
Right.
And when you have 400 or 500 people apply that last week, it was getting to the point where busing was becoming, in my judgment, somewhat unsafe, because we were having overcrowded buses and a lot of unplanned for issues. So although we continue to make changes to kind of equal it, middle school is an interesting busing challenge every year, because the mix changes every year. You can't use the previous year's stops, and it's just this big changes. So we are making some shifts and stops at the middle school to attempt to equalize the number of riders per bus. But having said that, I think there were less issues this year in busing than I can ever remember.
Great.
Oh, good. All right, we have bills and payroll being circulated.
Did that.
All set. We have minutes. We have an open session from August 18th.
One question, on page 2, number 3, C1, under capital budget development, was that the meeting we approved a motion for $150,000 for roof repairs? I know
I don't think so.
we did approve a motion,
To include them
right,
on the capital plan.
or did we do that for meeting 4?
I think we did it the meeting
No.
before.
I don't remember,
I don't,
I don't have those minutes, so I couldn't find them at
I
home.
don't have to tell.
That would be in July, right, we didn't,
No,
the previous
you
meeting was
did
in
not
July.
include the roof repairs in July.
Yeah, so I think we
Right,
did,
'cause, yeah, they should be here, because it was when Wayne gave us the update.
right, it was Wayne gave us the update, right, we voted $150,000,
Hold on. Yep, unanimously approved,
okay.
150,000.
But
Yep,
does
I
it
wrote
say
down.
what school? Does it say middle school, high school, or middle and high school, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So we want to add a sentence to that effect.
Who made the do you have who made the motion and who?
Do you have that? I didn't write that
I
down.
have
just
my
wrote this.
notebook back
Okay.
in the other room. I would table them,
Okay,
yeah.
Yep.
all right, so we'll table these minutes until we,
Sounds like a good idea.
okay.
But executive session, 6:30 on the 18th. Early.
Sorry, withhold on that.
I'll make a motion, do you have anything? I'll make a motion to approve the executive session 6:30 minutes from August 18th, 2007.
Second by Cliff. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
No.
Okay, and then the 9:52 executive session on the same date, the 18th.
I'll make a motion to approve the 9:52 PM executive session minutes from August 18th.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Cliff
All right.
is what, a
Yeah,
abstain.
Cliff is. All right, and the budget report, staffing updates.
You know, I apologize, the list of new staff is not included, I don't believe.
That's fine.
So I'd like to just, I'll present that because it needs to be entered into the record. I'll do that at the next meeting.
Okay, and there's reports here at the table, anything you need to highlight?
You know, it's not on the report, and I'll have more to say about this at the next meeting, but I wanted to say that I'm meeting tomorrow with the Martin Fair, the director for the Department of Health, and our school doctor, Dr. Lori Witz. We're going to be talking about cooperation between the town and school on H1N1 precautions. We're going to be looking at just possibilities of immunizations and other strategies that the school department should be implementing. I had an opportunity to listen to and participate in a teleconference last week with the Department of Health. So there are new guidelines coming out, particularly around exclusionary practices for students. And if it's determined that a student has a temperature of 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit and either a cough or a sore throat, then the school nurse will be asking the parent to come and take the child home. Because these are flu-like symptoms, and the child must remain home at least for 24 hours after those symptoms, the fever goes away, and without any intervention of any kind of medication. And so we're going to be codifying all of that, and we're gonna, this is really Mass DPH requirements for schools. And there'll be a lot of schools will also be talking about serving as sites for immunization. And so we need to work with the town Department of Public Health to really think about how that might work.
Yeah, this is interesting. So will it be if a child comes to the nurse's office feeling sick, or will we be monitoring kids' temperature and
We certainly won't be monitoring, we're not
Taking
taking children's,
coughing and asking
but if,
how
and
they
if
feel.
anyone, whether a parent reports, or that the child is feeling ill, or if the child self-reports, or the student reports that they're feeling ill and is going to the nurse, or if it's obvious that the child appears to be sick, we may ask the nurse to evaluate that child and contact the parent.
I'm really concerned about the implementation of these guidelines, just in general. I think there's a lot of hysteria around it, but,
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow it pretty closely, but that's because it's what I do.
Right.
But I do wanna make sure that we make sure that parents feel comfortable about H1N1 and understand it, and
Sure.
so.
So should be able to give a more
Yeah.
detailed report at the
Yeah.
next meeting.
Either that, or we'll help you wind up at the nurse's office hacking, coughing, crazy.
Do we need to start setting up subcommittee meetings, or can we do that
Do we-
offline?
Yes, through David, right?
Yeah, we need to start, because we haven't had any yet, we need to get those.
There's actually, there's a youth,
Youth at risk?
there's a youth at risk committee next Tuesday
Okay.
at 9:30. Not set up athletic, but we may try to shoot for that, either that same day or the
Okay.
following. I don't know what day works well. Is Tuesday okay, and at the same time that we had in the past?
Next Tuesday?
Is the noon time still
Yeah,
okay?
that's fine.
Avoid Wednesday if we can.
And the policy subcommittee, Karen and Cliff can work through Dave.
Right, and next week, I'll send this to you. I did that later school times
Oh.
kind of review, and I
Okay,
wrote
good.
up something just for us to look at it preliminary. Cliff and I
Excellent.
have to go over it and sort of think it through, but I did write some info down so you guys
Great.
can see what I came up with.
Good.
I called a couple school committee members in districts that have actually done this, and
Make sure you run it by Cliff, or
of
else.
course. Of course, he's giving me this look like, what? But.
No,
That's the Will Talk look.
I just feel a little bit behind the curve.
It was just the past
It's
information that she was
just
given that
reviewing it and-
Stuff from,
Yeah,
Nicole
this
and
is
I
just
worked on, yeah, and then she
kind of
just
what I
reviewed
found
it.
out, and then, so that we can sort of decide whether you and I should do a more in-depth look at it.
is that in hard copy or is it?
Yeah, it'll be in hard copy. I haven't finished it yet. It'll be done in the next couple of days. So it's just like a 2-pager on what I found out.
Good.
Getting up to speed, okay. Is there anything else? Do we have a need for executive session?
Remember, our meeting is next week, next meeting's on Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's good, we've had the last 3 meetings on Tuesday, and next week's is on Tuesday. Tonight was on Monday.
Monday, we have the next meeting. It's
It's
Tuesday the
just-
29th.
Planning, Madam Chair.
I think you were there to recruit all that stuff, so
There is
yeah.
a Jewish holiday next Monday, and we acknowledge those.
Yes.
So, next meeting is
We need an executive session? We don't, right?
No.
so
All right.
Tuesday,
Twenty-
sure?
Tuesday the 29th, and then the town meeting, that's 5th.
Town
October
meeting
5th.
is October
Meeting.
fifth, that's right. All right. Sure.
With the signing of the DC contract, does that mean that that the unfunded liability from June's town meeting, the gap is closed a little bit, or what is the status of that?
The amount that will close ties into the delay of the step, not the salary.
It's about $136,000 at least, yeah, $136,000 as a result of the half step.
But the unfunded mandate, we said we would absorb the 136, and the unfunded mandate was separate
the other half,
from the
right.
136. So.
But it helped.
Right, it
It does
helps.
help. I can also tell you that we've had other expenses, there'll be additional expenses that I think we're gonna be looking for money for.
But we've had cooperative discussions with the finance planning team.
Yes.
and it is a priority for them to cover that.
Yes.
And, we're pretty sure that that will be covered. We'll wrap that up Friday morning
Right.
at our next meeting. There are other issues that the town still has to decide, but they have said that our, unfunded budget will be a priority, and they've identified funds to cover it. So, we're looking good moving forward, at least from the school department.
Very reassuring.
Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, what's the score?
I don't know, I've